Hello, beautiful everybody. Beautiful artisans. Yeah, I'm going to share with you where I'm at on my bridge. And first, I'm going to share the fabrics that I'm going to play around with. So, and then I'm going to share the sketch I went ahead with. And so this is a very, look, this was 50 cents. This is a thrift shop, very beautiful cotton, multi-layer woven tea towel. This is an absolute beautiful, another 100% cotton woven. Look at that, beautiful. I use this for the saddle blanket for the polar bears. This is 100% cotton. It's a scrap. It's a light blue. I love it. I'm not using all of these, but these are the selections I have made thus far. They are all cotton with the exception of this. This is a blend, and it is dragonflies on there. This one is bees, and these are some lovely flowers. So the bees, what might happen is I need yellow. So that's the whole scenario. That's the whole reason for that yellow. And these are some yellows because I need yellows for the sun. And this, I'm not sure about this. This is contemporary. It's a on sale item, and it's interesting. I mean, I kind of like it, but I don't know. We'll see. This is vintage, and the base that I'm using is vintage. So this is lovely. This is the piece I saw in my dream of this bridge. So I'm sure that will work its way into this piece somehow. So those are the fabrics that I am using. I'm just moving my cursor off of the end button. It ended itself the first time I started this video. So as you remember, I did some sketches. I did the bridge with the tree and the arches. I love, love, love the arches. And this was the first one I did. This has, I'm going to bring this down a little. This has a sun and the arches. And this is the one I really love. So I made the arches a little different in this piece. However, this is what I call a, it's kind of still a test run. We'll see. I may go with it. But what we're going to do now, I already did the sketch. And because it's the very same sketch that I did the first time with the sun. So what I want to do, before I add any fabrics, before I do anything like that, I want to get some paint on here. Now this fabric is a vintage flannel. This is an old flannel. This is gorgeous. And so you see I got a lot of straight lines, but this is what I have the vision in my mind, and this is what was coming, or the technique that was coming in my dream. Now the picture is very different from what I had in my dream. Now I may be subconsciously just working up to that. I don't know, because I feel like I could do a few more of these. I sketch very quickly, so the sketching is not anything that is going to hinder me. However, the image, like what I really, really want, and what I wanted was the building. But after we looked at all those bridges, even the Towers Bridge that was in my dream, I really want to do the bridge. And so what I'm doing here is just outline. The window is open, so I apologize if there's noise. But we got to leave it open because it's warm today. So these lines are not that difficult. I mean, when you look at this image, this is truly, everything's really geometric. I mean, we have half a curve, we have, half a curve for the sun, and then we have a half a curve for the arch, and then we have these are the beams. This is what I would call beams, right? These are the beams coming down on the arch of the bridge. And these I am just mesmerized by. When we looked at those bridges, oh, that's what I was saying. Yeah, I was just taken away. I mean, I'm like, I just fell in love with all of them. Every single, I especially, I just took from those images. I'm going to tell you, looking at the images, I really thought we were going to, or I, anyway, was going to select a particular bridge. And I'm like, okay, I'll select a bridge and I'm going to go with that bridge. But I couldn't. So I assimilated different designs of the bridges. Is what I ended up doing. So that's what happened. Now I'm staying with this. This is gray because I thought I had black, and the black is dry, so I don't have any more of that. Unfortunately, that would have been my first choice, but I'm just outlining the arches, and these are this is actually, I'm going to tell you, this is super adorable. Now, if I don't like it and I feel like I want something overtly different, I have a number of these flannel pieces that I can use and try again. So, am I going for depth? Am I going for perspective? No, I'm not. I'm not a artist, not a realist like that. I'm more of a surrealist. Give me the abstract and I'll go to town, but I don't do the exact copying type of deal. So this is what I'm starting with, is just a simple outline. Now, what am I going to do with my fabrics? We were talking about having fabrics as the background. Now, I was thinking seriously of using the Boro Sashiko method to do designs, as the background, or a Kawandi method to do. A Kawandi's gorgeous. Look, I could easily put Kawandi around this. I elected for this particular test out, you want to call it, not to put pieces. I went through all the pieces. I'm thinking, what pieces could I put on there and just kind of draw the bridge onto. And I'm like, I just didn't want to. I wanted to put it on this beige flannel. Now, okay, so here's the sun. Yeah, I'm going to put the gray on the sun because no worries. This sun will be somehow we'll get it yellow, whether I'm using fabrics, because that's the piece I'm not sure I'm doing yet. Now I can tell you what I'm doing for sure. After this dries, and it must dry well, and I'm not having it cakey. You notice that it's not cakey. Because if it's cakey, then it's going to flake off, and I don't want that. I just kind of want an etching on here. And so the idea of it, I'm just going to hold this up. Yes, my hands are dry already, but I'm going to hold it up. And so this is it. Now the arches can use a little finessing, and I can work on those a tiny bit. That middle arch especially needs to come over. But I think there was a big noise outside when I was on that. I don't know. But yeah, I'm going to bring that arch over just a tiny bit. And, oh, this is lovely. Now, see, what I want to do is do that's a tiny bit better, is do the Sashiko stitching on the outline. And then I want to play around with some fabrics. So I'm not sure how I'm doing this yet. I smudged this up here, so I gotta fix that tiny bit. But this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna let this dry, and I'm gonna start stitching. Now, what I might do, depending on how I feel about it when it's dry, which will be really in an hour before I can. It acrylic dries like really in minutes, but there's some little globs here and there I don't want to. And this one I just kind of cleaned up, so um, it will probably be an hour, and then I'm going to start stitching. And depending, and I may do another piece with the fabric layouts. I don't know, because this piece is the piece jumping out at me. Now, the other thing is this fabric, and I'm not sure. So I'll probably start just piecing it together on here and this and that. But so that's how far I am. And you know what came to mind as I was sketching it out again, and is flowers. I was thinking of just putting all these flowers and calling it the Bridge of Life. In our last video on the bridge, a few members were talking about, hey, have it be metaphorical. We got in that little discussion. And Bridge of Life, with flowers and trees. I mean, how gorgeous. But I think what I'm going to do is just kind of focus on a very basic bridge right now. And then I'm going to start stitching on it. So that is how far I've gotten. And I will be much farther if I like the look. If I like the look of the, let me just show you a couple things here for a moment. Now, when I stitch, okay, I'm going to put this down. Let's see if you can see it. Yeah. So when I stitch, let's say I choose, okay, I'm doing initially my Sashiko stitching here. And then I'm like, well, okay, I want to play around with some fabric. Maybe I put, this is wrinkled, so I have to iron it. But let's say I put the fabric there and I already have my stitches, and I'm thinking to myself, wow, that would actually look interesting if I paint this a little bit, kind of put some paint strokes in there, continue with the Sashiko stitching. How lovely just might that be? So I think that's how I'm going to be applying my fabric. Is I'm first going to start stitch it out. I will show you what it looks like stitched out first. And I need to get a base under here. I have no base, and I do want one under there. Do I need one? I mean, because this could be my base when I put fabric on it. So I'm not sure. I could go either way on this. I mean, this is when I say there's no rights and wrongs, when your creativity and how you want to create and test out things or put something together. So anyway, I hope that inspires you. This is a very simplistic, I said it was challenging, and it is. It's totally challenging. I actually ended up drawing this bridge, from my perspective, a lot easier than I thought I was going to do. It's still challenging in the way of these fabrics and even choosing fabrics, because look, even this is perfect, would you say, for the beams? When you say that's absolutely perfect for the beams, I mean, look at it. They're vertical. I mean, that would be just lovely. You just cut them out, you sew them on. But the reason I hesitate with this is it's almost too perfect. I really do go for the primitive look in art. I go for the humble, the ancient. I like to really hold on to that because this is where it all started, the creativity by a very humble beginning of somebody needing something and doing something. And yes, this is where we've come to very perfect lines and whatnot. And, I know we came here like centuries ago with the perfect lines, but I like to go back farther than that. So with that, I hope that that gives you some inspiration, and yeah, it's challenging to figure out how I'm going to piece it together. So I will. We're going to go live tomorrow at 11 o'clock. We'll go live, and it should be for MAG. When I say MAG, that means the Artists Guild. So it might be from there. If it's not pouring rain in the morning, and if it is either or, we'll be jumping on at 11-ish, I should say, just in case I get up there a little after 11. I don't want you to think I'm a no-show. With that, you have a beautiful day.